So, what's going on here? It's a game against Boston. Now, they took an early 1-0 lead on me, right? I don't know what's about to happen here. Oh, yes. Right, so here you have a situation. Thanks for that, Leslie, by the way. Where the guy's just foolish enough to play it out. I mean, you can't do this, man. That's a video game. Let me explain why people do this, okay? It's important that you know. This is not some guy being a total idiot. He's not. He's really not. This is an old school player. Whoever I'm playing against right now has been playing this game for a while, I'm telling you. And it's video game etiquette when you're just playing against your boys in, like, you know, the basement days and stuff like that. You're constantly trying to rush the puck out because nobody wants to sit around for a whistle. But that was back when the games weren't as intricate as this. You know what I mean? Your players didn't get fatigued the same way. They didn't lose abilities the same way. You know, if you don't manage your time wisely. You can make line changes in a face-off. They're like, back in the day, we didn't care about line changes, you know? But now it's so realistic that they got line changes and stuff too. Like, you gotta think about that, right? So this guy's just trying to hurry the game along, and unfortunately it comes back to bite him, right? I say it time and time again, the games are too realistic now. You can't be dishing it out as a goalie. I will get you. And there it is. Boom. Right? So that was a nice way to tie it up against a Boston fan. That's all I'm saying. Sometimes in the video games, you get a little bit of real life justice. That's why I like the video games, you know? They're very cathartic. I don't know this guy. He's not a bad dude, but he's a Boston fan. You know that at least. And I get an extra thrill out of tying it up with a goal like that if it's against a Boston fan. It's petty, I know. That's the point of the video games, right? Real life hockey with multi-millionaires, classy, respect for the game, tradition. Video game version, we're all a bunch of jerks, right? We're all a bunch of jerks. So that was how I tied it up, okay? Now you look, before the first is even over, it's already 2-1 Toronto now. But look what's gonna happen here. Oh, that deke. That's just a nice deke. I mean, I'm sure there's a defensive breakdown right before that. Like, well, let's watch this again. Right? But straight up, like, that's just a nice deke. Sometimes you gotta just respect the player, you know? And I don't mind losing against a guy who can score like this. He's not pulling a one-timer like everybody always does. He had the guts to go in on Freddie, pull his little move. I mean, you hope Freddie has a couple of those, and they never seem to, but it's a decent goal. But if we wanted to be picky, we could say that, like right there, everybody's already out of position. You got the 2D, where the one guy is the farthest back. He's probably about where he should be in real life. But just to his left is what should be the left defenseman, right? Who's out of position now. Unless I pulled him out of position right before that. Let's take a look real quick. So who am I? Oh, see, now I've got Muzzin, who's the left D. So at this point, there's still nobody covering the left D, even though I've gone in with him. Now again, guys, this is what I'm talking about. I don't expect EA to get this stuff right away. This is a little bit more finer detail. And it's my fault that Muzzin's out of position. But what I'm saying is real hockey players would see me going out of position and readjust, right? Because there's times where you need to go out of position. I'm not saying I did or didn't, but out of reflex, you instinctually go to cover for each other when you're good. You know? Now, I expect it to not be perfect. It's a video game, but there's too many times. It's too many. You can reduce it a lot, and it would just look and feel a lot more like hockey. Instead, my mistake of pulling Muzzin out of position is about to bite me in the butt big time. Because, who's 12 there? Galchenyuk? He never put any pressure on the Boston player with the puck at all. He never charged forward. He never went at him. There was no pressure whatsoever. Muzzin is out of position. And my winger there on the left has already let his winger go by him. There was no coverage along the boards. So at this point, like, this is almost a guaranteed goal. But yet, you know, the people that aren't used to hockey stuff would say, like, that's the only problem right there was that deke. That Anderson slid out of position and, oh, he should have been better. Like, that's not an Anderson fault at that point. Even in real life. If that happened in real life, you can't blame a goalie who, like, 4 guys let a guy sneak through. 4 of your own players let a guy get right in on you. That's shocking as a goaltender. You're not ready for those because you're looking at it like, none of you got him? Are you kidding me? And then now you're expected to perform. It's a different thing than as a goaltender in real life when you know a man is yours. You know what I mean? When your guys have played properly, there's times where they'll still even get an opportunity on you as a goalie. But if your guys have done their job, you expect that shot because you're like, that guy's got no other option. He's going to shoot it right now. You know? There's none of that in this game. They don't know how to program that. I'm telling you. But the thing is, they've got programmable stuff that I know we could fix it. Either way, though, that's a decent goal. I'm not that mad at it. Right? J-Place, you're saying, I love scoring true goals. Right? It feels better when you're playing this game as a hockey fan. When the goal you score looks like hockey. It feels so much better. It's like watching it on TV, but you controlled it. It's so sweet. So what's next? It's 2-1 now. Okay, wait, sorry. We're in the... Oh, you might have seen the score pop up there. Oh, I always forget that. We're at... what is this? 4-3 now in the second. 4-3 now in the second period. 7.5 minutes left. I've got it along the boards. What's going to happen? A little shaking and baking in the corner because it's like it's very easy to play keep away in this game. You know, and then the dish out front with the one-timer to tie it up. This is an example of a goal that, like, honestly, for the most part, I don't think should happen on either team. I shouldn't be able to do that. I'm not discrediting the guy I'm playing at all. Because look how long I'm able to hold this puck and nobody puts any real pressure on me. I know he's right there, but nobody backs him up. See, when the puck is in your zone, you have an obligation to put 2-on-1 as many times as you can. Right? It's your zone after all. You have to protect it. You need to get that puck back as quick as possible. So the theory should be, any chance you get reasonably, and that's questionable, but any chance you can reasonably take to double team a guy in your zone, you take it. It's understood that you take it, right? And then everybody else shifts to cover the open man next, till the only person you're leaving open is their worst option. Because what are the chances, right? You're playing the odds at that point. You're shifting. You have an obligation to do that in your own zone to get that puck back, right? Once you have it, you can chip it out. You can just clear the zone even. You don't even have to take it down and score. Get a line change, any number of things, right? But what happens here, man? Like, complete breakdown with these one-timers. You know? It's just brutal. Coming through like this, I'm holding it for so long. There was 3 guys around me. Not one of them could take it from me. 3-on-1? In their zone, there's no pressure. There's no true double team there. It's not like real life at all. You know what I mean? That's brutal coverage, man. That's brutal coverage. So I'm not proud of a goal like that, and that's why I wanted to show it to you. That's not me gloating, saying, ooh, wow, look what I did. That's me saying, no, I shouldn't be able to do that. And I hate it when people do it to me. They take advantage of the clear lack of forecheck. You know, they treat it more like basketball. You know, the slow pace sometimes. Not fun. Not fun. Oh, I missed one-timer there. Now what happens? All right, it's coming down. What do we got? Oh, it's 5-4 with less than a minute, less than 20 seconds left now. 5-4. Boston winning. Less than 20 seconds, less than 15 seconds. Holds it, holds it. Guys, you know it's coming. You know it's coming. The dish out front. Oh, 7.2 seconds left. Guys, again, I'm not even gloating about that. That's a pretty wide open one-timer. That should probably not have happened. Again, bad coverage in front of the net. But oh, you know, even though I hate this kind of goal, I love getting it against a Boston fan. That's for sure. Right? 30.8 seconds when I start the clip. And it just goes right down to the wire. You know, this is what I'm talking about. This is why the video games can be fun. You know, this is the rivalries that we talk about. It's good to not be friends sometimes. This game is more fun to me while I'm playing it because this guy's a rival to me just because of the color of our jerseys. That's the beauty part about sports. Oh, right? You know what I mean, Jay Blaze? You see what I'm saying, Leslie? You guys get it, man. Now, if I met this guy in real life and it turned out that he was this guy, I would not be gloating. I would not be like bragging about it. It would be like, oh, that's so cool. I get to meet you. That was a crazy game, wasn't it? I would not be gloating about it at all because I know this game could have gone either way. This was not one where I beat him. I just beat his bad AI, man. I beat his bad AI, and that can happen to either one of you at any time. It all depends on how the AI reacts in the game, and it's never the same. So you can never know who's got an advantage or not, right? It's kind of like a coin flip, I'm telling you. There are variables that you can control, and the better players control them, right? They control them better. But there's a lot of up in the air variables here in these games that I'm just like, it has nothing to do with gameplay, and we need to try and eliminate a lot of that. Put the power in the hands of the players, right, guys? So here's overtime now. You know Leafs luck, right? We're up against Boston here. You know Leafs luck, right? 5-5. Less than 2 minutes. 3-on-3 overtime, right? I've told you about puck possession. He's doing a good job. He's doing a great job of just keeping it away from me until there. Right? Now I have it. And you know Leafs luck, though. Leafs luck is that we win when we need to. That's the new Leafs luck. We're starting it right now. You understand? That's how quickly it can turn around. That's the Leafs luck right there. That's how quickly it can turn around. Remember that. How many times throughout this game did I show you this guy was winning? Right? Y'all understand? You youngins out there that don't know the spirit of competition? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I just know there's a few veterans, a few vintage people in the chat here tonight. And we all know about this. This is what we were taught in school. I don't know why it's like a lost message now. You don't give up. You don't give up, no matter how silly it may seem to continue. You don't give up because you never know what could happen. And as petty as it is and as silly as it is, it was a lot of fun sticking it to a Boston fan coming back in overtime after they were controlling the game for the most part. He played very well offensively. I just played a way better defensive game. There, look, that's to show you how much better he was ranked than me. So I earned 11 points in this game. That's astronomical. I've never seen more than 5 or 6, maybe 8 for a win. I've never seen 11 points for a win in this game. In online versus. Never. That's astronomical to me. Right? Here, look. So we both had the same amount of shots. Let's talk about stats here for a second, okay? I want to get a little lesson going here, okay? Right, LB? EA will never listen, sadly, and the worst part is they silence the big guys like Nasher, and they silence them and force news through them. Ah, okay. Good point. Let's get into that for a second, LB, just because you got it on the button right there, and then I'll get into these stats here, okay? I don't think they're silencing the big guys. I think the big guys are choosing to be silenced, right? The big guys are choosing to be silenced for sponsorship and for extra promotional stuff, for being involved in the games and stuff. It goes both ways, man. They're not being silenced. They're choosing to shut up because they're choosing those dollars. And you know what? I would do the same thing. I would just do it better. Do you know what I mean? Because there's a way you can have a relationship with a company like EA Sports. There's a way that you can have a relationship that is both honest to the viewers and loyal to EA Sports. And I think I already do a pretty good job of doing that. For free. I'm doing it for free over here. You know what I mean? You guys know how much I love these games. You guys know how much I credit these people for doing a great job every single year. Every edition is always better than the last. I cannot wait for NHL 22. It's going to be nuts, right? They're always nuts to me, but they could be so much better. You know what I mean? They could be. So that's where I am at. And I think that's an honest relationship. I would love to strike up something with them and be exactly like those big guys. I would do it in a heartbeat, right? But I think I could do it in a way that would still satisfy you guys. I don't think I have to do it the way they do it. It doesn't have to be so, you know, horse and pony show or whatever you call it, dog and pony show. I don't know. One of those things. It doesn't have to be so Hollywood. You know what I mean? There's a way to do it. And I think all of us here in the chat and everything, we're doing a good job of starting it. So let's keep it going. Spread the word. Send these links and everything to everybody else. Get everybody on board, okay? Subscribe, follow, whatever you got to do to be a part of this. Even just show up. I don't even care if you do any of that. As long as you're still here every week and stuff, or telling people about it. Anything you can to help. Because I would love to. Thanks, Leslie. Because, yeah, man, I would like to be like that for them. I think I could do a good job for them of keeping it honest with you guys and being true to EA. Because they're a dope company, man. I love them, and I love the games they make. I love the game they make. I don't even care about any of the other ones. I love this one. right? Every year. So you bring up a good point, LB, but yeah, I think there's more to it than that. You know what? We should try sometime. I show some of your clips on my stream and you show some of mine on yours. Just a thought to help each other grow. Dude, of course. Like, we're going to figure out, we're going to do it even better than that, though. We're going to do it in a way that's, again, we can do it in a way that we're helping each other out with content, but at the same time, giving each of our channels something unique. So it's not just like a cut and paste job and we're just spreading it on both channels. Trust me. We're going to be able to do it nice. Yeah, and we'll get some streams going together. Absolutely. Like, we all need to be out. Any of you out there that want to do this for real, like, we need to team up, man. You know? You got to go for it. Look at the difference between two biggest ones, Nasher and 2BC. 2BC constantly speaks his mind, and Nasher just shuts up and talks about it. I mean... Again, I give credit to everyone who's come before me and done this stuff and made themselves a big deal. All of them. The Steve Dangles, the Nashers, the Bacon Countries, the 2BC, and everybody else. Like, anybody that's a part of this. There's people I follow on Twitch that are bigger than me. You know, the Terry O's and stuff like that. I'm telling you, there's guys out there, right? That I'm like, I respect all you guys for doing it. You know what I mean? I'm just here to do it my way. And I think my way could be a lot of fun for a lot of people. Because I'm about trying to get the party as big as possible. I like that. There's something special about being like a huge band or a huge entertainer or something like that, where your voice can literally reach 1 million people. There's something cool about that. It might be egotistical. It's probably a big narcissism thing on my point, on my end. But I feel like I would enjoy that. And I feel like a lot of us could do it together. Sorry to get distracted there, guys, but the chat's like blowing up now. Well, not blowing up, but like we're getting a lot of good comments about this stuff. So kind of wanted to keep that flowing here. We're all about just flowing with it, right, guys? What happens when you put 4 people with similar opinions? I don't know what we're talking about there. I probably spaced out during that part. Sorry. But Leslie loves the good vibes. Jay Plays, you're saying you're down to be sick to be friends with a Maple Leaf gaming legend. Oh, get out of here. Get out of here. We're not a gaming legend. We're going to be our own thing. It's not just gaming. It's hockey, man. It's hockey in all forms. You know what I mean? It's real life hockey, video game hockey. I'd love to have some like interactions with some card collectors and stuff like that. I don't have much by way of collections, but I always appreciate the people that do, man. I'm just very irresponsible with my belongings. I really am. So I really feel like I shouldn't have too many expensive things for Leafs. I can't. I will burn something. I will like wash something on cold instead of hot or whatever the vice versa is. You know what I mean? I'm going to ruin something for sure. So I'm going to forget a card in my pocket and then wash my jeans or something. I don't like having expensive things when it comes to the Leafs. I got the bare minimum, man, pretty much. You know, because I'm irresponsible with stuff. So... but yeah, man, we're all friends here, right? Unless you she can't wait to see where we go, man. And with that gold maple leaf beside your name, you know, your comments just sparkle that much more, you know? It's just gleaming in my eyes, you know? Looking lovely there. It's experimental. What are we talking about? What did I say? Live train of thought, folks. It's difficult to press rewind and try to remember what we were talking about. Oh yeah, you guys are talking to each other there. That's good. Yeah, and that's why pucks work. Yeah, exactly, for the collectibles. Exactly. I got a couple of them around here. I just don't have them up on a wall yet. Gotta figure out how to put them on a wall nice. You know? But yeah, so here's the stats. Here's the stats for that Boston game in case you haven't been staring at them. Now, if you've been looking at them the whole time I'm talking here, right? What are some things that stand out to you guys? I want to quiz you guys. For those of you who can't see, power play minutes was 8 seconds for Boston, and I had 1:35 on my side. So I did have 1:35 power play. I didn't convert on it though. For some reason, he converted on 2 of his. I don't even understand that. So what do you guys think in the chat there? What do you guys think in the chat is wrong with this? Well, what would you say was happening in this game? You've only seen the highlights. You weren't there watching it. So pick some stats and tell me kind of like what you feel like was really going on. You know? Because there's a couple of clues here. You know, the scores obviously won. And the fact that it finished in overtime. But there's some clues here. If you're really looking, you'll see things like passing. No, passing's pretty similar. 78%, 79.3. No real advantage there, right? If you look at the power plays, like I said, that wasn't so much of anything. Oh, shorthanded goals. Neither of us gave up a shorthanded goal. So there you go. 0 for them and 0 for me behind my stupid head. All right. The shots are 21 to 20. Right? If you look at the shots alone, look at the shots, right? 21 to 20 in a 6-5 game, you would say, yeah, they're about tied for shots. They're about tied for goals. Could have gone either way. Could have gone either way, right? LB48, you're saying what I see is that this is always something. He had double your time on attack, but it shows it's not about how much you have the puck. It's about what you do with the puck. Oh, there you go. Right? So LB's right on the money there, pointing out the time on attack is the biggest difference. Almost double my time on attack. Almost double. And what did he do with it? The same 20 shots. +1. All those extra minutes in my zone. +1 shot. Right? There's no... The people in the chat rooms and stuff with their stats, I'm telling you, I don't know if actual teams are doing this, guys. The actual teams might be way smarter with the stats than this. But some of y'all in the chat rooms and stuff like to talk about how, like, the advanced stats work. They don't favor games like this. You know what I mean? On paper, this would look like Boston dominated me, but they really didn't. They really didn't. If I had given up like 52 shots with the 12 minutes of time on attack, yo, Boston was running me up and down the rink, right? And I might have still won 6-5. That can happen, right? But you'd have to look further into it. Be like, how the heck did that happen when Boston was dominating the game so much? But this is not a domination. This is a willful surrender of your own zone. It's defensive. I play a solid defensive game when I'm playing this most times, right? You know that that's where I focus my attention more, is the defensive side of things. And it didn't matter how many minutes of time on attack, right? We just boxed them out. They weren't getting anything through. There was nothing. There was no angles. There was no shots. You can win this way. So I really wish people with their stats would stop looking at things being like there's only one way to win. Because that's what they're implying when they favor this over that. When they choose that this stat is now more important than that one. Well, is it? Or is there a context where either one of those situations is beneficial? Hockey's very complex, man. This is not baseball. This is not baseball. This is not football where there's like static stops and starts. A play begins and a play ends and they stop and they reset. There's so many more variables to hockey. There's a reason why it's one of the most difficult ones to gamble on. I think it's the worst. I think I read a thing one time that said that hockey is the worst sport to gamble on because there's so many variables. It could go, it's like a coin toss. I mean, not really, but that's their like exaggeration of how bad it is with hockey bets, sorry. Right? So it really is about what you do with it. The game can be played a million different ways, and I really hope people out there don't ever start closing doors and closing mindsets to possibilities, because that's it. When everyone starts thinking left and you go right, you're the one that wins the cup, right? If you do it fast enough and at the right time, and everyone goes left and you go right, you've got a shortcut to the cup. Nobody's in your way. You're the first ones doing it. And that it could be anything. It's all depending on what's happening in the game at the moment, right?